Hi everyone, it's Kathleen. I am providing this video today, which is going to be in a class setup. This is for my slit slot binding system, how to create it. So this will be a tutorial. And I have a favor to ask of you. I can't figure out how to create this as a class. I don't want to do a Patreon site. I can't figure out how to put it on Etsy. So what I would ask, I'm going to say this one time in this video only, but from now on in my description box. So this will be called, this video is going to be called Slit Slot Binding Tutorial. And in that description box on YouTube at the bottom of the bar, it's called ... more. So click on that more button. There's a partial description, at least on my iPhone. I have to click ... more again. And then it tells me the whole thing, how to contact me, what this video is about, blah, blah, blah. Because I can't figure out how to create a class, and I don't want to learn. I can't learn. My brain is not very good. So I have a PayPal account, and on there, if you have a PayPal account and you buy stuff on PayPal, you have a PayPal account. So you can send money via paypal.me to thank me for doing this free course. So if you send money to friends and family, I hopefully won't get some of that clawed back, because a donate button on YouTube takes 30%. They give me 30%, and God only knows what happens to the other 30%. So my paypal.me is Kathleen Sundby and the number 1, all one word. And there'll be a picture of me. Apparently there's more than one Kathleen Sundby. Who knew? So that's a way to say thank you for this free class. And it might be 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. I don't know. I have created what I thought was a helpful how-to on how to create my slit slot binding system, but it wasn't that helpful, some people said. So they need more instruction. So I'm going to give more instruction, and that's going to start in today's video. What I'm working on now, is Ashley's February Edith Holden journal. Her cover is finished stitching. I've showed you how to make this cover in a previous YouTube video. Not this exact pink one, but a different one. So it's just recently it's August 2023. So it'll be maybe June-ish of 2003. So have a look. I show you how to create this scrappy cover. You can use any type of a cover with my slit slot binding system. So I wanted to show you this cover, and I will be inserting my slit slot binding into this cover. I haven't decided if I'm going to stitch it in with the sewing machine or use soft gel medium, soft matte gel. Soft meaning when it hardens, when the glue dries. Gel medium it's a protector, it's a glue, so you can use it. Soft will have the flex. It'll have flexibility in it. So that's why I use soft gel medium on fabric. So let's put our cover aside. These are the pages I've created for Ashley's journal. So I have in my slit slot binding system, I have one slot and I have a whole bunch of slit. Or is it the other way around? I don't know which is a male slot. So this is a slot, and the other slits fit, pages with the slits fit on. So to begin with, I have, you can see this is 2 pieces of fabric. My fabric, they're going to be 2 widths. This is the slot. So my slots that I use are approximately 6 inches. And this one is 9 inches tall. 6 by 9 inches tall. And this is 2 pieces of fabric. You could use any kind of fabric, but in this case, I've used a vintage doily that I've cut the ends off because I don't have to finish the ends on here. If I would use fabric, I might want to insert something fancy in there. And I'm not going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to show you how to do this. So to start off with, I have these 2 pieces of fabric, and I don't want to take this apart just yet because we are going to have a piece of fabric that will be attached either with the gel medium or by sewing machine to the book cover. Then you'll have another side that is attached as well to the book cover, either with gel medium or by sewing machine. But because this little part I want to be as one piece, I want to take this to the sewing machine and I want to stitch all the way around this. I'm going to say it's the right hand side of the slot piece. I'm going to take you to my sewing machine. This is going to be a long video because there is nothing fast about sewing. And I hope I don't make it busy. So let's turn on my sewing machine light. Let's lift you up. Okay. I have a Janome sewing machine that I bought just for journaling. It is it's called My Style 100, and it's a reliable sewing machine. I absolutely love it. I have a neutral colored thread in here. I never change my threads in my machine. I hate doing that. So this is a Gutermann. It's that's the color 9938. You can use any color of thread you want. I like this because it's a variegated tan, cream, caramel, honey. And that's, I work in vintage, antique style, so I don't have to change my bobbins. So to begin with, I'm going to start sewing. Well, let's start sewing. I don't want to see my nice sewing stitches at the top because this is my, when I look at it, this is the top and this is the bottom. So I'm going to turn my fabric over to the side and I'm going to stitch along this bottom. I have to show you how I stitch it first, and then I'll show you how we will be attaching it. So I'm going to just go to, my pressure foot is this. I'm going to use my right hand side of my pressure foot as a guide for how I guess how much of a seam allowance I'm going to use. I like using a sewing machine. If you don't like using a sewing machine, after I sew this, you can, well, if you don't have a sewing machine, if you don't want to sew it by hand, you're going to glue these 2 pieces together with that soft gel medium. You're going to soft gel medium, glue it. It's going to take overnight to dry it. Well, to cure. It'll be dry in a couple hours, but anything that I glue, I would let sit overnight. So I'm not going to talk anymore right now about glue because I use the sewing machine. So I don't even backstitch. I just start going. And I have a slot cut. So I know I'm going to just come up to here. Come up to here. Come up right there. So if I turn it over, my pressure foot will line up to this slot. So that's what I want to do. And this is my center slot piece that will hold all the slit pages. So I'm going to stop there because I want the same pressure foot width. That might be 1/4 of an inch. It's hard to say. Go to there. Hopefully, I want to just have my needle come to the scalloped edge here. I don't want to drive over that because it is very thick. So we can continue down this way, and I'm just barely missing that scallop. Oh, I'm going to have to drive over it. Okay, I did. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I'm going to cut this off. And I'm just going to come back down to the center. And I'm going to take my hinge out. I'm going to cut that off. And okay, let's go back to the table and I can show you what I'm doing now. So hang on if you're busy. Oh, I see that this is not a high-tech operation here. I have my iPhone mounted on a movable light, perched on an oven mitt because my iPhone overheated and went berserk a couple times. Okay, so let's move me like that. Okay, so I want to move these pages to the side. So this piece here, let's get our cover. That's how my book is going to look, my Scrappy journal. And so now that I have this part sewn that I told you about, we're going to open this. Okay, let's start with this, and I'm just going to make a finger fold so we can see where that is, and I'm going to make a finger fold so where we can see where that is. So the center piece that we've sewn together it'll be standing up. So we need to separate these two back flaps or panels. How do I know where the center of this thing is? Well, maybe we should find out. Maybe we should find out. Okay, so it's there. Okay, so I have a line. You can see my crease. And that's where I'm going to open this up. Okay, the crease is there, but it's not on here. Let's crease both sides because I didn't crease this side. And let's crease this side. So now we have this stitched piece will be up in the center. These two pieces, we're going to find where the center is. So the center is here. So let's put that there. That there. And this will lay down. Because I've stitched so beautifully on the other side, I don't want to have hand stitching a rectangle piece that's just going to be stitching like this. If I can do that with the machine before I embroidered, but I didn't do it this time. So I'm going to use this soft matte gel. I'm going to reach for I'm going to call this a spatula. This is a silicone spatula. It's angled. I used to teach art journaling courses, and I like using a spatula for gel medium to go like this to apply it because the brush holds all the gel medium and you get stuff like this, and I don't like that. And it's hard like a rock. So I personally don't like that. I like to use a spatula, and it's just a matter of personal preference. So we are going to, let's see, I'm going to grab my pencil. Okay, so I'm centering this top to bottom, so it looks like I have to pull this down just slightly. Can you see me in frame? Let's move up. I'm going to lay down this one piece flat, and I'm going to go inside and I'm just going to let my pencil draw where my fabric is. I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so let's turn it the way I look at it. And if I turn my fabric over, my line that I draw with my pencil is this. This is where I'm putting the glue. And across here. Okay, so that's where I'm going to place the glue. When I say glue, I mean soft gel medium. If you use glue, it's going to be hard and firm. I want these journals to be soft because I'm a miser and I use that on the cover that I would throw away. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of, if we have to mix it up, this is a new jar and it still has the consistency of egg whites. So I'm just going to take that on my spatula and I'm going to start from the top down where I have my pencil line and go across, top down. So I'm covering up all the area that this fabric piece will be glued onto. Usually I sew it with a sewing machine around the edge this way when it's down, but because I have done so much embroidery, I do not want a sewing machine to go over those beautiful fluffy mohaired fibers. And I'm making sure that I am getting this soft matte gel, soft gel medium on all of the fabric. And now I'm going to add, it's on the fabric already, so I'm just going to be adding just a little bit more. Oops, this part here is coming up. Where's my cloth? Wipe that off. Okay. If this gel, this soft gel medium goes through my fabric, this is, well, it's not Battenberg lace, but it's heavy cotton. If it goes through there, it'll dry clear. So no worries. Okay, so do I have enough? So you want to be able to see it. Okay, so right now, that's good. I haven't moved this fabric yet, so I'm just taking that one piece and I am just patting it gently along the spine. I'm wiping my hands to get the excess off because as I'm feeling this, it's getting wet. My hand is getting wet. And this is sticking down. Okay, I see that if I want to add a little bit more, I'm going to add it on my actual fabric here and stick it down. There's a little bit more that I need, and you see how I'm turning it, so I'm folding it back. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this soft gel medium on there, and let's pat it down so that will stick. Okay, it's upside down. This is the correct side. Dry my hands. I'm just patting it down and feeling with my fingers to make sure that it is all down. So this is that will be the center. So let's make sure that this is not glued. And I can see that it's down here. Let's pat that down. The top, the bottom. Turn it over. Okay, so we have this one, and my pencil is here. We're going to do the same thing. So let's... I'm holding my fingers about 1/4 of an inch in and moving the pencil. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing. Clean my brush and my spatula, and let's grab some, and it's here. So let's go really close. And here. And I want to make sure that this is the mohair on the other side, on the back. So I just want to make sure that there's enough gel medium in this area that this cotton slot will stick. Okay, and I'm going really close. Sorry, I hit that with my glasses. That's all right, Jacques. Okay, I'm going to have to go over that mohair because we want it the fabric to actually stick. It's mohair yarn because I stitched with mohair yarn there. My journals seem to have a lot more stitching because I absolutely love stitching. I have to sit in bed lots. Coming to this craft room here and working on this really adds pain to my back. Just degenerative pain. There's so many different things that are wrong with my back and there's nothing but that you can do, so you just deal with it. Disintegrating bones is what's happening. Okay, and this. Do we need more? Let's have a little flap, a little fluff. I think it was on that pink, so let's just add a little bit more on the stitching. Smooth it. And I'm going to put a little bit more. So I think that's fine. So let's take this string out. And that loose string. And, oops, there's a loose string up there. So we are going to, I'm going to lift this up, my center up. So I'm lifting my center up so I can push down right here. In case I lifted it up by mistake, I want it to be flat. And I want this to be put down. And you see it's not quite straight, so let's have a look what's happening here. So my fingers go to there, to the pleated, finger pleated thing that I made. Lay this flat, and let's lay it nice and flat. Dry my hands because it's a little bit wet from the soft gel medium. See, I'm not wearing any jewelry. You don't want to have your jewelry coated with plastic because gel medium is liquid plastic and it dries like plastic. Yes, you can scrape it off, but if you get it in your diamond or your claw of your jewelry, good luck in trying to get it off. So this has to dry, and I don't want this to go in here. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I got this. I'm going to wipe this off for now. And yes, this will turn hard like plastic because I wiped some of it off. So I'm going to put this aside. Now, do I have waxed paper? Do I have waxed paper? My kit. Oh, I do. Look at this. Okay. My art journaling man's toolbox. Okay. So this is just waxed paper off of a roll in the baking section. And I put that here because I just don't want this center part to stick. So it's a little bit wet. That's okay. We're going to flatten it down. Okay. So this slit is ready. We're done this. I'm going to set this aside and this will dry. And I'll come here every once in a while and I'll maneuver this. It's going to stay overnight to dry. And I'll flip it over, I'll maneuver this. And I just want it all to dry. So, and once it's dry, it's liquid plastic attaching to fabric. So you will not be able to get it off. Oops, I better not put it on my wool sewing mat. Move my wool sewing mat over. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we did the slot. Now we are going to do our slits for each page. So when we go into our book, my nail slot. My slot is ivory. So my first page that I put in here, I'm going to go with this yellow. So I'm going to alternate my honey. Oh, you can't see what I'm grabbing from. So I'm going to alternate my honey slits and my ivory slits. So how big are these things? They look like, because I had pre-cut these a long time ago, and these are longer than this. This one is cut for the slot that we just glued onto. So we're going to start, and so we're going to start. I'm going to take this piece and tell you how big it is. This is cotton fabric, and it looks the same on either sides. If I have, if I have another fabric, you see how the right side is very clear and dark? And that is obviously the wrong side. If you don't mind seeing that, you can leave that in your book. That would bother me. I don't know why, but it does. So it's not, I can't choose that kind of a fabric. I have to have a fabric that's the same for me on both sides. So this piece of fabric, let's move you down. And it is 3 inches wide, 3 inches wide by 9 inches tall. That's a piece of fabric. So all the hinged pieces are going to be like that. So these are nail slot. These are slits. So 3 inches wide. And what I'm going to do is take this, I'm folding it in half. I'm going to go to my mat, and I like working on a grid mat because I can see at a glance 1, 2.5 inches. So the ends are lined up, and I'm going to cut this approximately 2.5. If it goes over a hair or two, it doesn't matter. So I line it up to the 2.5, and it's halved. So my slits will be 2.5 inches. I can always cut them. Sometimes if I have a hard paper, I'm going to cut it. So all of these honey-colored hinges are cut like that. They're all 3 inches wide by 9 inches tall, and they're cut 2.5 and 2.5 up the center. These are, I cut these several months ago, and these are a little bit longer. These are 10 inches. I'm going to leave them for now. If they bother me, I can just cut off some as we go. But right now, I'm going to leave them. So all of these, so these white ones, or ivories, they're 3 inches wide. And this just happens to be 10.5 tall. If you want to stick to the 9 inch, that's fine. If I was doing this again, yes, I would stick it. So I would stick it. Oh yeah, I would stick it. I would stick to the same size. I'm going to leave this right now. It might be interesting to have them alternate like that, the heights. I like that. So I'm going to leave these for now. So this fabric, this pile is the same. And my slits here, I folded in half and cut it at the 2.5 inch mark. I can always cut down into it if I need to. So you're going to cut, I alternate. So my honey pieces, my ivory pieces, and some ivory pieces, I thought, oh my gosh, because I love craft, why not glue a piece of craft paper on there to add layers? Scrappy layered journal. So that's what I did with this. And this is just from a lunch bag. And this happens to be 8 inches. 8 inches across, this craft paper. And by 1.5. It's 1.5 wide. Am I going to keep that 1.5? I don't know. Maybe. So these are lunch bags. And I crunched them. Crumpled them. All of these, so they're all different. And I used, see these are vintage linens, table linens that I've used. And so you can use the innards of the table linens that you find, or you can just use unbleached cotton or cotton that you buy by the meter. And well, I might need that pencil. Let's just leave it there. So now we have our pages. So let's start with and this is how I'm assembling my pages. So you might want to be attentive and listen how I'm going to gather my pages, because for me, these are in order. They're in the exact order I want to have them in my book. So my first hinge is going to be this honey. Okay, so I have to move some stuff. I'll move that to the side. And I have to move some stuff because I need to spread out here. So 1, 2, and 3. That's still not going to be there. Well, I can move these guys up here. Okay, I can do that. Out of the way there. So the first hinge is going to be honey colored because I have a ivory colored slot. So that's why. So this is honey. I'm going to line it. This is a dark white line, or a brighter, thicker white line that my eyes can see. So I'm going to put that. So the center slit is on that dark line. So for me, I have no measuring. I just look at it. And I can see my 1.5 inches on either side to work with, because this is the center of your book. So that part will be seen on the right-hand side, and this part will be seen on the left-hand side. So I want to take my first page. And place it down. It's downwards because when you open a book, that's how it lays. So this is how my book is. So when I turn the page, it's going to be like this. Let's get the last page. So you're working with the first page and the last page. I'm taking this pile, elasticizing them together and putting them to the side because we're just working with these. Okay, this is a placemat, a crocheted placemat that I cut. And these are nice scalloped edges here and up the side. So with my glue stick, just to tack this into place, you have a decision to make. Do you want your page to go on top of your hinge or under your hinge? It's up to you. I'm using that big center line. Can you see that? Yes, you can. So I'm working with this side here. I am going to put my glue stick, huff on my glue stick, and I am just going to put one swipe of glue, and I'm going to just use my eye. I'm folding these up just so my eye can see. And halfway down the center is where this is going to be. So this page, I want to center it top to bottom, and then I just want to move it onto there. And I'm following this pattern. Silly Willy. This is on. This thicker bit is on. Thicker bit. And thicker bit. So let's place that down. So this is temporarily, the glue is temporarily tacking this in place. If you didn't want, I'm sewing this on the sewing machine. If you didn't want to sew it on the sewing machine, you could sew it by hand. If you didn't want to sew it by hand, then you could use this soft matte gel. Okay, so that one is tacked on. I'm going to open this up, make sure it's placed on the center there. Now this one, in the book, when you read the book, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it's covering everything up. So on my hinge, I want it to be on that side. So when my book is closed, this is my first page of my book, and then we open it up by turning the page. So I'm going to be applying glue . How far do I have to go up? Let's place that there. And let's just okay, this is really soft glue. That they put way too much glue on here. So some glue sticks are really soft. Others aren't as soft. This is really soft, so it gives me a lot of glue. And there's a little lint. Let's take the lint off. Okay, so now I want to center this doily. This page 1 is going to come halfway up. Okay, I have to pull this up a little bit. I want the same distance. That's just me. And my doily kind of bows out this way. I don't know why. It's okay. It can bow out. So I'm patting it down. So when we put this page into the book, this is how it looks. So I'm going to go and we're going to turn. You're going to come with me. So this is going to be a long video. Every single page we're going to do like this, because there's nothing fast about this book. So we are going to, oh, shoot-a-maroo, my table, I mean my seat fell off, my little soft cushion. We're going to move me over. Hang on, you're getting moved. Every page we're going to do this because I can't have my glue sitting on top of one another. Look, we're already at 40 minutes and we haven't even done one page yet. So this one here, okay, we're at my sewing machine. We're going to take, oh boy. See, this is the glue. That's glue, or the gel medium. So it's plastic. Liquid plastic is what it is. Okay, so we are going to move my scissors off here, move my threads to the back. I'm going to start at the top of my fabric, right at the top of the fabric. And I am going to, because this section here is right in the center of my pressure foot, that's how the width of it is just perfect. So my pressure foot lines up with the edge. And I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch in. I'm going to hold my 2 little threads at the back and go. Okay, I'm going to stop. I see something weird. Let's cut this off. What do I see weird? Oh, no, that's just the light, so everything's fine. I thought I heard something weird. There. Okay, we're good. Oh, I'm not done yet. So that's the first page. I'm going to turn it around. I'm actually going to turn it this way because I want to drive on the front. You see how this side I drove where the page is on top of the hinge. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm flipping it so I can, let's cut off these little threads. Okay. And again, I'm going to go down, start about 1/4 of an inch down. I'm going to hold these little guys. And I'm going to start. Sewing all the way down. Okay. Every page is going to be done like that. Okay, so this one is done. Let's move back to, and you're going to be turning back and forth because that's what I do. Okay, shut off my machine. Okay, so we have this first page. And I want to say I have to let it dry, but okay, I'm going to be sewing each page like this. I see something like my thread, I'm going to cut it off. So this is the first page in my book. That's the first page in my book. You open up the book. My next piece is going to be a plain cloth like that. And let's get my book. So we're going to take out this stack. This stack is exactly how I want to read my book. So I'm going to take the first page here. And if you were to read it, you'd open it up like that. I'm going to take my last page and I'm going to put this away for now. So this page will be here. So now I'm going to move this. And so do I want to cover up this to see that? Or do I want to cover this, place it on top? I think I have to do it this way. Okay, and I'm centering it top to bottom. My glue stick. Wow, is that ever soft? Holy Hannah. Look at how soft that is. Wow. Okay. I want to take this first page we did out. Okay, so I'm going to be placing, I want to center that top to bottom. I may have to cut this at a later date when we're inserting it in there. So I got 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches, and I did 2 strips of glue and center and center, because here it would cover everything up and it would be too plain. And let's flip it over, and you can still see through there, so that's nice. So it's going through half. Boy, that glue is... Okay, maybe make it straight. Must be part of the fabric. Yeah. Okay, so that's pages glued in there, like this. This next page, do we want it to go like that, which I probably do, because when I flip it over, yes, I want to see that. So I'm going to take my glue stick. And is it the same height? It is. So let's get that glue stick. And we're putting glue along that right edge. Boy, is that ever moist. It's good that it's moist. It's just, now it's messy. Okay, so let's put that there. And then we go and we sew it. Every page is done like that. Okay, I'm going to leave this on top of here. You see how it's layering? Okay, instead of me going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to the sewing machine, I'm going to leave this like this, and I'm going to take another page. My next page will be a honey-colored one. I say hinge, not page. So it will be like this. Get a book. Pages. When we open up this next page, I absolutely love these scrappy pages. Absolutely love them. So it'll be opened up like this. I can easily put it like this, because I like the way that looks. It's not hiding anything, and because we have lots of designs on that. So let's go like that, and take the last page again. It's always the first one and the last one. Where's my elastics? And I'm going to take this away. So do I want to see it like this or that? Let's see what's on the other. Oh, I want to see this. So I don't want to cover that up. So yes, I want it like this. I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to flip it for the ease of gluing. Just wait, I take that back. How am I going to do this? Okay, I see it like that. So I want it to stay like this, glue like this, because I want to see this cigar band there. So I know that my honey hinge goes on top of here. So let's separate the two. And let's add some glue on the paper. And, okay, and take half is up to here. Half is up to here. And it looks like we can half, there we are. See how nice that is? So in the book, it'll be like this and that, and that's exactly how I want to see it. So this next page is like that. So this fabric has to be, this fabric hinge has to be glued on here. So let's shuffle this over, shuffle that over, and I'm folding the hinge right on top of one another. And looks like I have to use the whole strip of this page because I want just, it just happens to be the correct width is the width of this glue stick. So I'm very fortunate that it works out that way. So it's going to be glued, and let's go halfway. See, this is the full way, halfway, and center top to bottom. Okay. Awesome. So this page will be here. So let's try, well, I don't know what the next two pages are. So let's get the next two pages and then we'll see which kind of a ivory hinge. If we want ivory with the craft paper on it or just plain ivory. So this next page is, okay, it's going to be like this in my book, February, and we turn it over. So the first page, the top page and the bottom page we take. Top page and bottom page, and then we put it away. So this is how the page is going to look. So we have that and that. So do I want to have extra, oh shoot, Amaru. Oh, you little. Extra craft covering it. There or there, maybe, maybe not. Or we can turn the hinge around this way and something has to be covered up, either the back or the front. I think I like this better. And this page, I don't want to cover up this collage, so it has to sit on top. So when we open up the page, what does it look like? I'm okay with that. Yes, it covers up the word some of the F for February, but I like that. So let's move this page to the side and glue it. So I'm going to put my glue here. And I'm going to take this page and halfway on the hinge, center top to bottom. And this one, okay, so we're going to take the glue and just put it on this paper part. And I'm going to take it halfway, center top to bottom. Okay, I like that. I think that's awesome. So that's that page. I'm stacking them right now. And the next one will be, next hinge will be honey. Grab our book. Take the top page. So it's top, and when you open up the book, you slide it over and place it on here. And the bottom page. And let's put this rest away. And because I want this page to open, I will be sewing it inside here, and it'll just close. So this, let's move that page sliding over, and let's slide this over. Okay, so because I want this page to open, I'm going to flip him over and add glue. I'm going to go here. Let's just let's fold this down so we can see where half is. So on this fabric, I'm centering it top to bottom, and now I'm going to go on half. And go on half and lay it down. Okay, that's good. So when we flip it over, let's straighten it out a bit. It looks kind of slanty. Okay, let's put it back how we would read it, which is like this. We're going to open up the book page, and we have to remember to sew inside here. This, I want to see this, so I don't want to cover that up. I want to lay it like this. So I'm going to turn over that. I'm going to put my glue on that page. And it's going to sit like this. Center it top to bottom, sliding it over half. Gorgeous. Gently lift it up and place it. Place it here. Okay, the next one is plain piece. So let's get our next page. The top page and the bottom page. And we're going to elastic this together and place it to the side. So let's move the page, slide the page over, slide the hinge over, slide the page over, and slide that to the side. Okay, so this is an open up page and I have a collage in here. So I want to put my hinge on top of here. So I'm going to take this glue stick and my hinge, leave the same amount top and bottom. I can see what I'm covering, so that's half and half. Perfect. Take this loose thread out. So this, do I want to see it with the fabric on top or like this? I think we're gonna go like this because there's more white to cover on the front page, like that. So I'm going to put glue on this side where the hinge will, the fabric will cover. And flip it over. And this is, I'm centering it top to bottom. Look at how nice that is. So we're going to carry this over, place it on top. The next one will be honey. We're alternating honey and ivory. Let's get our book pages. So this is the top page. And it goes here. The bottom page. I love this page. Goes here, and we put this away. Okay, let's lift up that guy, the hinge, and then this page. Okay, so let's start with this one. Okay, if I put it on top, a portion of that will be covered. If I put it like this, maybe I want to see more of that, so I am going to put my glue stick like this, and there. Okay, so let's, where's my bunny rabbits? So I need 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go like that and like that. So I know that my fabric goes up to that line. Center it top and bottom. Okay, that looks good. This next page, do I want to cover up that to see like this, or do I want to hide this and see all of that? I think I do. I want to do it that way. So I want to center this top and bottom. My glue is going to go here. And we're going to fold over half. Okay, that's not quite half, so let's maneuver this. Perfect. Because this page opens up. I'm happy with that. I think that's all right. And place this over here. Now let's try another one of these color pages, or hinges, I mean, with the craft. Now I have to find a bingo card. There is a bingo card. Okay. Whoa. Because I have a bingo card that, oh, I don't know, I can't remember which one goes in here. I can't remember. Maybe it's this one. Okay. What am I doing? I am taking this, taking the top page and the bottom page, putting this away. And I took this bingo card out because, okay, let's slide this page over my hinge and this bag page. So in this bag page, when this bag page is opened, it has to be backed yet. It'll be a nice little card in there. So I have to back this piece yet. So I don't want to stick this in here because knowing my luck, I'll stitch in this. So I'm just going to leave it at the side and decide, let's go with this one. Let's do this page first. Do I want to attach it like this? So I just see a little bit of the craft. And let's turn it over. Yes, I do. Okay. I can either hide all the craft. I want to see a little bit of the craft. There'll be just a stripe of craft I want to see. So on this straight side, centering it top to bottom and just seeing a small amount of that craft. You just see that little line there. And then this page, do I want to cover this up? Or do I, okay, it's fairly empty on that side, so let's put it like this. Yeah, we're going to do that. So let's halfway, center it top to bottom, and halfway. And I'm going to put glue. That's all right. Perfect. Okay, so that's nice how that looks. So now I have another honey colored one. Get my stack of pages, take the top page, the bottom page, put these away. Okay, let's slide these pieces over. Okay, I'm going to cover up this because there's a collage here and I don't want to cover it. So halfway. So we have to put glue on this side. glue on this side, and I'm looking at that dark line. Here, I can go over here. So I want to see where 3/4, I'm centering my line there. So on the white line, I know that that'll go, so that's good. And the next one, okay, I don't want to cover that up. I want to cover this up, so it'll be underneath here like this. So we can fold there. So, oopsie. Oh dear, someone's at the door. Nope, someone's just walking by. That's okay, Mila. That's okay. A lot of homeless people seem to come in our yard and sit on my nice bench. Okay, so halfway and down. So that's that page. Okay. Next one will be plain. And then we take the top page. Top page, bottom page. Put these away. Let's slide that. A coffee hinge and this page. Okay, so, oh boy. Okay, I think I do want to go like this because I don't want to cover up that in there. So I'm going to put my, whoa, glue here. Okay, that one's nice, and that's how the page goes. So let's fold this here, and I want it to go here because this page will open and we have to sew inside here, and I better not forget that. So we want to put glue here. Halfway, and centered. And place this on top. The next one is a honey hinge. Okay, get our stack of book pages. So we have our top page, our bottom page, and put this away. Let's slide these ones we're working on over. Okay. So do I want to, what do we have here? So do we want to cover it up like that? See that? Or do we want to cover that up? Okay, I am going to do that. So I'm going to put glue here because I see a little bit of the pink on this side. And okay, I'm using the white line as the center mark, so I'm going to line this up with that white line. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, next one. I'm going to cover this up because I don't want to cover my collage up. So I have to put my glue here. And let's position this so that white line is half, and half, and down. Perfect. Very nice. And the next one is some craft paper on a coffee hinge. So let's see. So we have this, the top page, the bottom page, and put these away. Okay, let's slide that over, slide and slide. Okay, so I don't want to cover this page up. So my hinge can either go just like that. Do we want to cover up this page? Oh, I can cover that. I can go like this. I think that looks nice. And that looks nice. So I'm going to put glue under here and attach that. Okay, and I just want to see a little stripe because I want to try to sew onto that fabric. Center onto my hinge. Okay, and this one I'm putting glue here and moving my hinge onto this cotton page. Yeah, oh, I forgot about that. I'm touching it and it's all sticky. Okay, this. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, that goes there. Now we need another honey hinge. That are stacked. I think we may only have 2 more hinges. So this is the top page. Yes, 2 more hinges. And the bottom page. This page is spectacular. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. That hand stitch page is just amazing. I love it. So put that away. Put my elastics away. Okay, let's scoot this over. This and that. Okay, let's start with this side. Oh, it's going to be tough. Okay, do I want to go like that? Okay, I can go that way. Let's look at the other way. Oh, dear. Okay, I think I'm going to glue it on this way. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put glue on the back of this. Take off some of these loose threads. I'm lining up the half and the half. Taking this. Centering it top to bottom and down. I love these Scrappy pages so much. Okay, so do I want to No, there's just one image, so I'm going to cover up some of this. So I will. Oh, you little. Okay. And let's just drag this. Okay, why aren't you coming? Oh, we better go this way because I can't seem to find center. Okay, let's go like that. Okay, one last page. I'm so excited. Okay, let's see if we can use, did I use a brown one before? Yes, I did, so I have to use it clear. I mean a plain. So let's go plain. And let's get our last pages. So these are the last 2 pages. So this is the top one. And because if we look at the backs are plain, I'm just going to, so it's a piece of paper, and I had to cut it because I had an extra page. I always have to have multiples of 2. So I had this one left over, so I decided to make it a focal point. And go like, okay, if you see, I'm going to follow this line and that. Okay, so let's just, this straight center line is going to be centered top to bottom. Let's just put it down. This other one. Oh, let's give him some glue on the back. Okay, lid. Oh my, that is very soft. Put that away there, and center top to bottom. Here, let's move this up a bit. Center top to bottom. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that page. So these are all done. 123. Okay. So now I'm going to go off camera because now the next thing we have to do is I take each page and I stitch down. Turn it around, stitch down. I think that's easy enough to understand. Every single page I'm going to do like that on the sewing machine. I'm going to stitch just like I did this first page. You saw me stitch this first page earlier on in the video. So now I'm going to go off camera and stitch all of those pages. You don't need to watch me stitch because I think it's fairly self-explanatory. You can either use a running stitch and stitch by hand, or if you use that soft gel mat to glue these on, you wouldn't have to stitch, but I like to use my sewing machine. So this is the end of part 1, and we will be back in the next video. Bye for now.